In this video, we'll try to understand all the concepts of the data graph. We'll try to understand what is data graph, when we should use the data graph, how you can leverage the data graph inside the prompt template as well. Now, before we get started, in case you folks are looking for a full-fledged data cloud consultant course where all the topics related to the data cloud has been explained in detail from the very basic to the advanced with proper examples, with proper hands-on exercise, which is related to the real Salesforce implementation, where I am explaining in very detail, starting from the data modeling foundation to the advanced topics like the activation, how you can generate the insights. Please check out my latest course available on the Udemy with the name of Data Cloud Consultant. I can assure you that if you go over this course, you will definitely have a solid understanding about the data cloud concepts. The link for this course will be available in the video description. You can check it out from there. So first thing here is what is data graph? It's a pre-computed denormalized graph. So very important keyword that you have to remember here is it is not something which is available to you in the normalized form. We already understand what is normalization and denormalization in our course previously. So I hope you can relate to the term denormalized here. So it's a pre-computed. The good part here is it's already computed, so you will not always have the real-time data because it's kind of a pre-computed denormalized graph of DMOs and the CI derived from a related lakehouse table. So you will be creating one, let's say for example a master table, and what are different related tables that you want to select, you can go and select it and create one pre-computed denormalized graph here. It is designed to maintain near real time and optimize data for the sole purpose of the faster retrieval. Whenever we do have the requirement to get the near real time and the optimized data, but the retrieval speed is more important, data graph is the solution for this. We know that in today's landscape, customer data is often distributed across the multiple system. We discussed this multiple times in our data cloud course. But very important part here is although the data are segregated across the multiple system, but somehow they are connected to each other. Let's say I have a customer data, for example, sales data available in the AWS. I do have the service data available in the Salesforce. I do have the marketing data available in the marketing, but I do have one customer ID using which all these data will be connected. And what we are doing with the help of data graph here is we are simplifying and accelerate access to this complex related data and making it a scalable foundation for the modern application here. Now, let's try to understand what are different things that we can do with the help of the data graph, with the help of the data cloud in the data graph. So data graph is something, as I said, which delivers the tailored data view to support the operational diverse to support the operational needs. This means that it can effectively power agent experience as well as application use case across the different scenarios. You can create user specific data graph. For example, I want to create a data graph for the customer 360 view. I can do that, which can be leveraging directly within your application with a single profile lookup, and I can go and access the data which is available into the multiple systems. For example, let's say I have already created my unified profile, and now with the help of unified profile, I want to access all the sales orders, all the bookings, all the accessories that customers have purchased. Rather than I go and write down the complex queries to get that data, what I am doing with the help of data graph here is I am creating a denormalized graph using which I can go and access everything. So you can create the user specific data, as I already mentioned. For example, you can go and create the customer 360 view out of it. You can look up the data for the faster access. And more important, you can also use this data graph in your prompt builder as well, which will using which you can go and enhance the capabilities of your generative AI application. So whenever you are creating the prompt and you want to provide the richer contextual data for the prompt grounding, data graph is the solution. Again, in my AI course, you might have seen that whenever we are creating the prompt, we are using the record snapshot, but that record snapshot is only providing the details for that particular contact. What if I want to get the data that is available in the data cloud from the multiple sources and put it into the prompt template. One of the easiest way to do this is the data graph, because here you do have the one complete record coming up from the multiple systems. So this is how the data graph will look like. This is how the editor for the data graph will look like. On the left hand side of the editor, you will see the available objects using which the data graph can be formed. And on the right hand side, you can select what all different fields from that object that you want should be available on the data graph. You can select up to 200 attributes here whenever you are building the data graph. Now, once the data graph is saved, the system computes it and generate a JSON representation of that data. So this is how the system will generate out of the box in the form of JSON representation of the data once you go and save this data graph. I will show you this in example so you can go and relate. But few key things that you have to remember before I move further. It's a denormalized graph of DMOs and the CI. So you cannot use data lake objects here. You can only use data model objects as well as the CI here, which is derived from the related data lakehouse table. Okay, and the final representation will look something like this in the JSON form. Let's see this in practice. So to create the data graph, you have to navigate to the data graph section, and here you can go and create the data graph. For example, let's say here I am creating a new data graph. Start from the scratch. I am giving the data graph name as customer 360, right? You can give any name, it's completely your choice. And I want this data graph should be available based on my unified individual record, or you can also go and select the individual record as well. It's completely your choice. Let me get this done with the help of the unified individual record here and click on the next one. Now, by default, you can go and select what all different fields that you want should be coming up from the unified individual. Let's say I want the last name or the person name should be coming up from there, even the first name coming up from there, even the birth date I want it should be coming up from there. But the good part here is you can go and relate the different objects here. For example, let's say I want to have here the related information from the unified link individual. Now from the unified link individual, I want the individual information should also be coming. Again, from here, what all different fields that you want should be coming. You can go and select, for example, I want the data source and the uh, few other information should be available. So I can go and select that part as well. After that, I will be selecting the individual, and from the individual, what all different fields should be coming, I can go and select that part as well. It's completely your choice how you want and what all different information that you want should be coming up. Let's say I want the booking information should be coming up, and I want, let's say near about all the fields, all the key fields should be selected here when I am working on the booking information. It's completely up to you. I'm selecting few random fields for the now, but you can go and select the appropriate fields based on your requirement, right? So I have selected this many different details. You can go and select the multiple individuals related as well. For example, let's say I'll also be selecting the sales order as well. And from the sales order, I want these different fields should be available. Let me also go and add the sales order products as well. And from there, what all different fields should be available, you can go and select that too. So you can go and select all those different fields that you want should be available for your customer 360 representation. If you want, you can go and select the case as well. So all the cases of the individual should be available. So basically what you are doing, what all different key objects which are required to form the customer 360, I'm selecting the master, and what all different related, I'm keep selecting it here, right? Then you can go and save these changes. And the good part here is you can see that, let me navigate this back here to show you. If you click on the preview, this is where you can see the JSON representation of all the selected fields. This is how the data Salesforce is creating automatically for you based on whatever the objects and the fields that you are selecting. Once your selection is ready, you can come here and click on Save and Build. You can go and define the interval, how frequently the data graph should be refreshed. As I said, it's not real time, it's near real time. Minimum you can go for 1 hour or 30 minutes as well. and you can go for monthly as well. So based on your use case to use case, you can define how frequently the data graph should be refreshed. Definitely, the refresh interval will have the impact on the billing as well. So that decision needs to be taken carefully. How frequently you want your data graph should be refreshed here. At this moment, I am keeping it daily for now and click on save and build. Again, it might take some time to populate this data graph. So I will pause this video for a minute unless and until my data graph is ready. And once it is ready, I will show you how you can use that data graph in the prompt template as well. Now, my data graph job has been completed successfully. Here you can see that it is showing me the last run status as active, and also the record count has been populated as well. Now let's go and check what all different records has been populated in the data graph. You can validate that using the query editor and also the data explorer. So if I navigate to the data explorer, and here you can see that we do have an option to check for the data graph. And if you click on select an object, you can go and select one of the data. You can select the data graph that you have created and you can see the records that have been populated. Here I want to see the record for one of my user with the name of TAN. So I will be getting the first unified individual ID for TAN. So let me navigate here to the data model. And here I'm looking for the unified individual. And let me go and search for one user here with the last name as TAN and click on done. Let me go and apply this. So this is my unified individual record for the TAN. So I'll be copying this unified individual ID and then I'll be navigating to the data graph to check what is the data graph has been populated for my user with the name of TAN. So again, I'm adding a filter. Here again, I'm selecting the unified individual ID and putting the unified individual ID that just now I have copied and click on the apply button. So this is the unified individual record. You can see the JSON structure for that user by clicking on the view button. Here you will see all the fields that you have populated while selecting the data graph is coming up here, right? What all different sources from where the data has been populated, what all different things that you have defined while creating the data graph, right? All those things are coming up here. Now, as a part of next step, we will see how we can leverage this data graph in the prompt template as well so that our agents can go and consume it. So I will be navigating to the setup menu and first thing I will be enabling the Einstein setup. Let me navigate here and turn on the Einstein and clicking on the refresh button. Here I will be looking for the prompt template, sorry, prompt builder and creating a new prompt template out of it. Hmm, where it is. Yeah, and I'm selecting the prompt template type here as the flex, giving the name here as the customer 360 prompt, right? And adding an input with the name of contact, selecting the source type and object and selecting the object here as the contact and clicking on the next button. Now let me go and write down the prompt to get the detail. So here I'm saying that you are a customer service assistant with full access to the customer information. Customer information is stored as, and here I will be putting my data graph, right? And let me ask the prompt, help me to get the customer 360 details for the selected customer, right? And here you can go and specify the data graph. Definitely you can apply all the good prompting techniques that you know for the prompt. Again, this is not a very good prompt that I have written because my main motive here is to show you how you can leverage the data graph inside the prompt, but you can follow all the good practices for generating the prompt. And if I click on the insert resource button, if I navigate to the contact, here you can see that if I scroll down, I do have an option for the data graph. It is still loading, so it might take a minute or two uh, for the data graph to be loaded. Let me check it one more time if it is loaded. Yes, it is loaded now. And here I am selecting my customer 360 data graph. Let's see whether it is working as expected or not. So I'm saving my changes, and again, I'll be selecting the same user for which we have checked the data graph record in our data explorer as well. So the idea here is all this information should be available in my prompt builder as well. My template has been saved. Let me go and select that contact with the name of Tan, and I'm clicking on the preview button. Let's see if we are getting the complete details. Here you can see my data graph is accessible here, right? And I cannot access or provide the customer information or detail. If you need assistance with a particular inquiry topic, please specify. Thank you for the understanding why I'm getting this. Let me go and preview it one more time, or here I am. Let me go and keep this or put that summarize this details from data graph. Let me go and put this and click on save and preview. Let's see if this time if we are getting the generated response correctly from the prompt, because we are sending all this information, and here you can see now I do have the correct information coming up from the data graph, where we are sending all this information, and all this information has been summarized correctly, and we do have the proper customer 360 details generated with the help of the data graph. Typically, if you are not doing in the data graph, you're supposed to be landed up writing down the complex apex or the flow, where you will be fetching up the data and preparing the JSON. But out of the box, you can leverage the data graph and get the job done here. Let me go and activate this. Now you can leverage this prompt template into the agent, and either in the service agent or in the employee agent, and access this particular data graph as well. I hope you got a fair idea what is data graph and how to leverage the data graph for your AI use cases as well.